All right, today we are diving deep into India's landmark 2026 budget. Now, this is way more than just a boring financial statement. Think of it as a bold blueprint for the entire nation's future, and it all kicks off with one absolutely massive number.
So right at the heart of this whole thing is this staggering figure, 12.2 trillion rupees. That is the record-breaking amount of money the government is committing to spend on capital expenditure, or CAPEX for short. And this isn't just a number on a page. It's a huge bet on India's future growth. We're talking about the largest public investment push the country has seen in over a decade.
Okay, but a number that huge immediately begs the question, where is all this cash actually going? This isn't just random spending. It's a series of really strategic bets that are designed to completely reshape the Indian economy. So let's follow the money and see what the grand vision is.
When you really look at it, this budget is a fascinating balancing act. On one hand, it's about pumping rocket fuel into the economy with massive investments. But at the very same time, it's about keeping a really tight grip on the country's financial health. And understanding this two-sided approach is the key to the whole plan.
And here's that strategy in a nutshell. On one side, you've got this unprecedented spending commitment designed to basically turbocharge the economy. But on the other, there's a strict fiscal deficit target of 4.3% of GDP. And that sends a crystal clear message to global investors, hey, India is open for business, but we are also being fiscally responsible.
So the first place a huge chunk of that 12.2 trillion rupees is headed is infrastructure. And we're not talking about just patching up a few potholes. This is about a fundamental upgrade to the country's physical backbone. The roads, railways, and waterways that are the arteries of the economy. And the scale here is just, wow. This is not minor upkeep. We're talking about 7 brand new high-speed rail corridors, 20 new national waterways to move cargo in a greener way, new freight corridors to finally untangle the country's logistics nightmare. And on top of all that, there's a major focus on building up smaller Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities to be the next big economic hubs.
Now, to get all of this stuff built, the government can't do it alone. They need private companies to jump in and invest. But let's be real, these are gigantic, risky projects. That's where this Infrastructure Risk Guarantee Fund comes in. Just think of it like a safety net. It gives a partial guarantee to the banks that are lending the money, which makes them feel a whole lot more confident about funding these massive undertakings.
And this isn't just some theory on paper. Industry leaders are already seeing what this means in the real world. As Uttam Digga, the CEO of the logistics company Porter, points out, this spending directly leads to better efficiency and, crucially, lower costs for businesses all across the country. And that is the end goal, right?
But the investment isn't just about concrete and steel. The budget is also making a huge push into high-tech strategic industries. The goal here is self-reliance, or Atmanirbharta, making sure India can build the critical technology it needs for the future right there at home.
And the priorities are pretty clear. A huge slice of the pie is going to electronics manufacturing. The goal? To build everything from our phones to high-end computer components right here in India. After that, you've got major investments in biopharma, semiconductors, and rare earth minerals. All sectors that are absolutely critical if you want to stop relying on imports and build a modern, resilient economy.
Let's just look at the hard numbers for a second. 40,000 crore rupees for electronics, 10,000 crore for this Biopharma Shakti initiative, and another 10,000 for container manufacturing. The plan also sets up dedicated corridors just for mining and processing rare earths. See, every single initiative has a really clear goal, whether it's building a global hub or just securing a vital supply chain.
And this huge strategic shift has definitely been noticed. Dr. Anish Shah from the Mahindra Group points out that this is a clear signal of India's commitment to becoming a true world-class manufacturing power, one that's ready to compete on the global stage.
Okay, so a budget this big and this bold is bound to create some ripples, right? So how did the financial markets, which are basically the ultimate real-time scorekeepers, react to all these ambitious plans? Well, it was a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest.
So the day kicked off with this huge surge of optimism. Investors absolutely loved the massive infrastructure spending and the message of stability. But that excitement didn't last long. The markets then took a sharp nosedive. So what happened? Well, it was a mix of traders cashing in on their early profits, and this was the big one, a surprise hike in the securities transaction tax on derivatives.
So why on earth would they raise a tax that spooked investors?
Well, the government's official reason, according to the Revenue Secretary, was to cool down excessive speculation and manage the risks in the very complex derivatives market. So it was a move aimed at long-term financial stability, even if it caused some serious jitters in the short term.
Okay, so let's take a step back from the daily market swings and the specific numbers. What is the big picture here? Well, all of these policies, all of this spending, they're all designed to be building blocks for a really long-term vision, what the government is calling Viksit Bharat, which means a developed India by the year 2047.
And this path to a developed India follows a very clear logic. Step 1, build world-class infrastructure to slash costs and boost efficiency. Step 2, use that foundation to master high-tech manufacturing and become self-reliant. From there, step 3 is to position India as an absolutely essential hub in the world's digital supply chains. And the final, most crucial step is to make sure all this economic growth actually leads to inclusive progress that benefits every single citizen.
This quote from the CEO of Deloitte South Asia just captures that global ambition perfectly. It's not just about building things for India, it's about becoming an indispensable part, a foundational node for the entire world's tech and digital ecosystem. And here you have the Prime Minister himself, framing the budget in exactly those terms. It's being presented not as just a one-year plan, but as a crucial, foundational step on a much longer 25-year journey toward a very specific national goal.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The blueprint is incredibly ambitious. The investment is historic. But will it all be enough to truly transform India into that essential, foundational part of the 21st century global economy? I guess only time will tell.
And that's our deep dive into India's Budget 2026. Hey, if you found this breakdown useful, do us a favor and hit that like button. Share it with someone who might be interested. And of course, subscribe for more explainers on the topics that really matter.
We would really love to hear what you think. What part of the budget stood out the most to you? Let us know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.